Have you ever wondered what Stereo Madness, the easiest and most mediocre Geometry Dash level, would look like if someone made it absolutely horrible? Well, I have, and in this video, I'm going to do exactly that. From blind transitions to spam to way too much straight fly, this level is enough to make grown men cry. Alright, so I already have a copy of already. I need to get this an appropriate name, and so what I was thinking is, just Stereo Badness, because that's exactly what we're gonna be making. So I think at the start of the level, we need to make sure that people know that this is gonna be a terrible experience from the very first second. So I'm just gonna immediately add the most disgusting click of all time, so that as soon as you start playing, you have to do this super annoying timing where you can't click too early and you can't click too late. And yeah, my goal isn't to make this a super hard level or a super easy level, just to make it horrible. So if that means making it super hard and super easy sometimes, that's just how it's gonna be. What I'm thinking for this part is, so instead of you just being able to jump over this spike, I'm just gonna make it slightly more annoying by putting like a red orb right here, so that if you try and jump over normally, you're gonna die to this red orb. So it's just a little extra layer of annoyingness. It's nothing super difficult or crazy. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna do here with this spike is I'm gonna make an invisible wall here. Boom, now you can't see that, but you'll die if you try and get past it. You just die. So instead, I'm gonna make it so that there's a random freaking orb that you have to click to switch gravity that you don't normally see because it's gonna be under the ground. And then from there, I'm just gonna add a random straight fly part up here that you have no way of seeing. It's gonna have the worst transition of all time, and I'm proud of it. Alright, that's exactly what I want. And then I'm also gonna make a like blind transition into the next part. And you know what? To make it even worse, why don't I make it so that it flips gravity in the middle of the straight fly? Yep, that's perfect, just like that. And I think to make this part bad right here, I'm gonna add like an invisible frame perfect timing, so that you have to do a crazy timing to reach into here. Let's see that. Yeah, an invisible crazy timing at the end of this one. Nice. Okay, that's perfect. You know what everybody hates? UFO spam. And so what I think I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make a UFO portal up here. So I'm gonna make it so that these spikes raise up, and then it just goes into UFO spam for no reason. I think it would be even worse if I made the UFO portal also difficult to see. Perfect. So now there's just a random UFO spam that's gonna make the level just that much more obnoxious. Another thing that makes levels bad is inconsistent difficulty. So what I did for this part is I just made it literally automatic. You can't die during this part. I covered the spikes and I covered the gaps. And another thing I'm gonna do at the end is, if there's any resemblance of the gameplay syncing to the music by the end, I'm just gonna offset the entire level by a few blocks so that there's no sync whatsoever. Right, so at this next part here, you have to do this simple hold, right? And it's basically impossible to die here once you start holding. But I'm gonna make it so that's not the case. It's gonna be the most inconsistent garbage ever. And the way I'm gonna do that is by just shifting everything over by half a block. So now, you have to hit that super early. Otherwise you're gonna fall off. I even hit that early already. Here's what it looks like if you hit it at like a normal time. You fall off by the second jump. I wonder if this is even possible. Nope, that's definitely possible. It's just evil. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Okay, so what I did here is I made it so this yellow pad will bounce you up, and then you have to click this black orb to launch yourself back down to the ground without dying to these spikes above. But the thing is, if you hold for more than a couple frames on this black orb, you see that second jump, that second bounce, was me jumping after hitting the black orb, so you have to click the black orb for like a frame. You have to do the smallest micro click of all time. And you know what? Just to make it even worse, I'll add it twice. Oh my gosh, this is the worst level ever. Right, so I added another annoying troll jump here, And then after this, I'm nerfing this part for inconsistent difficulty's sake. And also because when I was a noob, I remember dying here a lot. I'm just gonna make it impossible to die if you hold too long here. Because inconsistent difficulty is the worst, and so I need to have that as in my level. And you know what? Right before the transition into ship, why don't I have a random annoying wave challenge? There we go. That's some horrible freaking gameplay right there. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm making it so you have to enter this ship portal really low, otherwise you'll die to this massive saw blade. And then you have to go into this stupid straight fly corridor. So my plan for the rest of this ship section is to make it straight fly just the entire time. The most repetitive, boring straight fly, yet annoyingly difficult. This timing might not be possible, so I might have to nerf this, but it's gonna be really annoying either way. Okay, so you have to go low, and then you just have to go really high into that. Yeah, that's possible. It's just really annoying. So in Geometry Dash, a lot of the hitboxes are weird, and they're not the full spike. That's why you can straight fly. So if you see I turn these hitboxes on, these red things are what will kill you. And so that's why you can sometimes fly through parts of the spike. But what I can do is if I add an extra little spike, I can make this straight fly 10 times harder and that much more annoying and inconsistent. So what I'll do is I'll just litter a couple of these through here, and then I'll make these two structures kind of clamp together and form a straight fly part. So after adding a bunch of straight fly, because of course, how do you make a ship section bad except for just spamming straight fly? This part, it looks like you get a break from straight fly here. It's like some easy straight fly and then just like an empty pathway to the end of the ship section. But no, if you thought that, you're wrong, because I added invisible straight fly during both of those parts. But now we do have to work on the cube section, the second cube section. Let's see what I can do here. I don't think we've had enough spam yet, so why don't we go ahead and just have a wave spam part here. Alright, so we're going back into cube with these slightly, barely visible cube portals here. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. Instead of going into cube there, why don't we just go ahead and make this the most obnoxious robot section? I have a great idea. And by great, I mean horrible. Right, so you're turning into a robot right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna shift all this over, you know? That's actually not too bad, but near the end it gets... Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that's gross. And I think we'll stick with robot for this next section, because with all these random floating things, I think we could make some disgusting robot gameplay. Like right here, you can make that jump, but I'm just gonna remove this. So now you have to land on the edge of that thing and then jump off. This whole section before the triple spike and everything. A triple spike I'm gonna make a frame perfect, I mean obviously, right? But I think this whole section I can make some really bad robot gameplay. There we go. That's possible, but it's just like literally frame perfect. So I think now what I'm gonna do is copy this, flip it, and now we have a scary guy. And you know what? Let's make it a club step monster too, because why not? Give him a massive forehead too. One red eye, one blue eye. And is he sad or angry? Okay, he looks stupid when he's sad. All right, never mind. He's been demoted to being angry. Right, so now we have an angry, big four-headed club step monster with a frame perfect inside it, because obviously we'll nerf these jumps a little bit too. Because we just did a really hard jump, so they need a break, what can I say? I think I need to have more spam. Perfect, just like that. And that's the end of the spam section. How can we make this bad? This section's like always been my favorite section. Part leading up to their ship, this part's pretty good actually. Might be difficult. You know, if we put 2 blue orbs here, then we can make it so that the only way you can jump is like that. And then if we add a J pad, actually, right here, then that means you can't hold out of it. So then what we could do, just copy paste that, put it here. Oh. Yeah, now you basically have to do a triple click on every single one of these blocks. So yeah, you know what, that's some pretty horrible gameplay. And then if you want to get the coin, you can just do another one of those, but then you don't have to. And I'll just go ahead and put the coin up there. Every single one of these is a freaking triple click, so you have to click... Alright, that works. Yeah, I have W, spacebar, and click all set to jump, and I have to tap all of them at once. So, if you're a mobile player, have fun with this part. I'll just say that. For the sake of inconsistent difficulty, I'll just make this a tiny jump, and I'll make it so that you can't die at this part by making it freaking autoed. And just in case you don't see it and you forget to jump, I'll just make it so you can't die there too. I already have an idea. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm going to put invisible spikes on top of every single block in this part. Right, moving on to this final ship part, let's see what we can do here. Like, my first instinct is thinking, oh, let's just put more straight fly. But that'd be incredibly repetitive, and you know what makes a level really bad? Being repetitive, so we would never want... And you know what, just for gits and shiggles, I'm gonna make it so that if you try and go for the coin route, it's just gonna kill you. There's not even gonna be a third coin. There's no third coin. You got pranked, you got trolled. I think the level is done now, so it's time for a showcase. Here we go, let's hit it.